Hey there, guys. Dave Thomas, buyer's agent over here at the Atha team, and I'm here bringing you our monthly stats report for the Montrose market. And so the big news right now is we are just trying to decide whether we're seeing a buyer's market emerging or if it's still this seller's market that we've all come to know. And what we're seeing is some conflicting information. So some conflicting stats. On the one hand, we're seeing a lot of indication that it should be heading towards a buyer's market. And then on the other hand, we're seeing these numbers that we use for that type of indication that are showing us that that's not the case. So as of right now, we have 288, almost 300 active listings in the Montrose market. This time last year, we had about 140 to 150. So that's double the inventory. So any reasonable person would say when your inventory doubles, that should be heading towards a buyer's market. But then, so then the other thing we see though is average home price is up. So despite seeing significantly higher inventory, this time last year, we were at $475,000 average price point in Montrose. As of the end of July, that is $499,900. So we'll say $500,000. So even though we're seeing double the inventory, prices are continuing to ratchet up. So that indicates we're at a seller's market. So then on top of that, the next thing us agents like to look at is months of inventory. So how fast are homes selling, and how many months of inventory do we have? As of right now, under 500K, so homes under the average price point, we have 3.1 months of inventory, and for homes over the average price point of 500K, we have 5 months of inventory. So that's fairly interesting because at 6 months, we call this a buyer's market. So when we get to 6 months or more inventory, we call it a buyer's market. So that is an indication that maybe over average price point, we may start seeing this kind of this buyer's market start to emerge. Now, the most interesting thing I saw in the stats is when you look under 500K, the average home sale. So for all the homes that sold under 500K, average home sale was $400,000. So $100,000 below average for those homes. But when you look over $500,000, what was interesting to me is that the average price point was $775,000. So $250,000 or more, $275,000 over that average price point, over 500K. So it actually is an indicator that we still have a very strong luxury market. And so there's a pocket in there. There's a pocket in those homes between $500,000 and $1 million where we are probably starting to see like a real deal buyer's market. I suspect it's between like 600 and 700K or 500 to 700K. We're going to see this pocket where our inventory stacks up over 6 months. Those are where the deals can be had. So keep an eye on that, guys. Interest rates. I can't seem to walk down the street to Walmart to buy a delicious Red Bull without 50 to 1,000 people asking me, are interest rates ever going to come down? I can tell you as a team, we actually recently went to an economics forum where an economist from Mesa University, who also consults for the Fed, told us in no unsuspecting terms that no, they are not. Interest rates are not coming down anytime soon. Essentially, he said that the Fed uses a number of metrics that would let them know, that would show them indications that we need to bring interest rates down. He said not one of those metrics is indicating that interest rates need to come down right now. And he said that that was forecasted 6 to 12 months out. He said the Fed can easily forecast out over the next year. And we are not going to see, definitely not through the end of the year, possibly not even through the middle of next year, lower interest rates. This could just be the new normal. I know it feels kind of out of touch. You know, you hear these sayings about, buy or marry the house, date the rate, right? So lock the house you're in love with in right now, and then when interest rates come down, refinance. We just don't know when that could be. You could be locked into that rate for quite a while. That being said, we did see a small interest rate reduction over the last month. Anecdotally, I just bought a new home for myself. I was at a 7% interest rate with my lender when I got started with that process. 2 months later, we closed at about 6.5%. So that's good. It's not great. Still not thrilled with the 6.5% interest rate, but it could be worse. So the next headline is, first-time home buyers and investors are more or less leaving the market. So my whole career, you could kind of count on, you'd enter each sales month with a first-time home buyer and an investor or a group of core investors, and you could sell a home to a first-time home buyer, and they'd be thrilled with it, and they'd be starting their real estate investing journey there, and you'd have your investors. You could go find a good deal for them, and you could sell your investors a high-quality investment with good cash flow. And some homes cash flowed better than others, and those are the ones you bought. But finding cash flow was always really easy. Right now, it's almost impossible, and feels like. So with your classic 25% down that investors are required to do for those types of loans, they're still having to bring money in at the end of each month to supplement the difference between the mortgage and the rent. And that's not an incredibly exciting prospect for any investor. And so we're seeing our investors leave the market, and our first-time home buyers, our poor first-time home buyers, are really struggling as well. And they're getting it from both ends, right? They have to typically they don't have huge down payments, because the vast majority of people bring their down payment from the sale of their previous home. First-time home buyers can't do this, obviously. And so they're having to compete with these high down payment conventional loans that don't have all this overlay that you see with like VA and FHA loans, and they're getting knocked out of these bidding wars that can occur in these lower price points. And so what I will say to those folks is, as inventory stacks up, do not get discouraged. Keep an eye out, because inventory means we have more opportunities. We have more chances to submit these offers that might otherwise not have a chance and get them selected. So higher inventory, more opportunities for our first timers, for our investors to find good deals out there and to submit offers that may not otherwise have a chance. So anyways, guys, I really hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to serving you guys here in the future. Thanks. Bye.